up, everybody? I go by the name of Sly.
And I'm Cardi the Dawn. And we want to encourage you guys to listen to The Melting Pot,
where we will release new episodes every Sunday discussing today's most hottest and controversial topics, stirring up all things popular culture.
And you know what they say, if you can't stand the heat,
get out of the kitchen. Brought to you by The Melting Pot.
Why the Melting Pot say they all that though? Period. Okay.
But you know what? I believe Wayne Williams had a type, but it wasn't kids. It was adults.
Yeah.
Everybody has a vice. Every sociopath has a vice. And, you know, Wayne Williams was under the guise that he was trying to help these people in the music career.
Because didn't he have like a radio station, his own?
Yeah, but then he transitioned from working at the radio station to being a music producer and manager.
So I didn't know that.
So, yeah. So that's why he was on some, get them in the industry. Which all could have been a cover-up for to fulfill his fantasies.
But, or like you put it, his extracurriculars. But I wonder if he had an accomplice. You know what I'm saying? Like, or at least just one person, you know?
No. I feel like Wayne Williams is type that if he did it, he needs recognition. And why hasn't the other person come forward?
I don't feel like he had a complex like that, though. Like, where we would want him to know that he did it. You know, like you could say that about like Ted Bundy and the Zodiac Killer. They kind of had complexes like that, but I don't know, not for Wayne.
No, because I feel like at the end of the day, we would have known about that other person. I mean, but shoot, it was so many suspects.
Yeah,
it was like 27 at one point.
Yeah,
so his accomplice might have got thrown in with them.
Yeah, because what was the pedophile that was running around the same time?
Jamie
Brooks.
Jamie Brooks.
But yeah, so he was found not guilty for the first child victim of his, and then later he was tried again for a different, child.
And he went to jail.
So I feel like
he died of AIDS.
I feel like it was just, it really all comes down to, like we said, it was a lot of things going down in Atlanta that they just had to clean it up and pin it on one person. Like we've stated before, like children was not his pattern. Like he, young adults, that was Wayne Williams' thing. But my thing is like, okay, I got another question. We know that he impersonated being a police officer. Let's talk about infiltration, right? So if we go with the theory of, okay, the KKK, this was just basically a way to avoid a race riot. They were hitting hard in Atlanta, and this was basically, they had to find somebody dependent on to avoid a race riot. So do you think that the police station itself had like somebody who infiltrated and, made all the evidence go away for other cases, or just pinned it on him, or, something of that aspect? Or you think that's too extreme, too out there?
Not at all. I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you why. Because members of the KKK are everyday citizens.
Yeah.
So you got your businessmen, your politicians, you got your police officers.
You just don't know.
We wouldn't know. They know.
Yeah,
we wouldn't know. Because it's more than what the media didn't put out.
Yeah.
But I do believe it was some inside jobs. There was some KKK people. Absolutely. That was probably on the police force, going around killing people.
I just feel like the evidence was just too planted. When something's just too clean, too planted, like, I don't know.
It's too clean and too planted, and also we need a scapegoat anyway.
Yeah.
Because this is taking a lot of the citizens' tax dollars and keeping this thing going on and on and on and on and on.
And like I was saying,
and they didn't want a riot from the black people.
Yeah, to avoid a riot.
It was a daycare that exploded. 81, 82, it was a daycare that exploded. And they thought that that's where the rumors and speculation of the KKK started to come from when they were starting messing with the children at that point.
Yeah.
And so the mayor had to come down and calm people down because they was feeling like riot and they would get upset. Come to find out, it was like a boiler had exploded or something. Yeah, a hot water heater.
Okay.
So that kind of made people like feel better. But then and also, you know, of course they're going to tell you the hot water heater exploded as to, of course, you know, Nick and the boys messed with the kids. But it was just a lot going on in this 79, 80, 82.
But I mean, do I think he personally did it? And I'm just talking about the two victims that he was convicted for. I say yeah. I do. Even though it's a whole lot of conspiracies swarming around, I say those two, but no more. You know what I'm saying? Definitely not the children. I am going to raise that by saying what we've already said, that it was just a lot going on and they had depended on somebody. I think that between sex trafficking and the KKK, it was just the right time for, you know, Atlanta and, you know, the government and stuff, but it was the wrong time for William.
Because it's like, even with today, there's kids going left and right missing. Yeah. Honestly, we live in.
Do you remember that Wayfair? They was like people being shipped on Wayfair. Like, that's not funny, but like that's one of them. That happened not too long ago.
Yeah, like you about to Jessica think you got a lamp. Thinking
you got a lamp. You know, bed frame. Bodies being transferred. And it made me think of it because, you know, we've been looking for like furniture and stuff. So I was on Wayfair the other day and I was like, I haven't been on here since that happened. Like,
you know, unrelated, non-funny story, but kind of funny. That came out, that Wayfair story, it came out and I had just bought an office chair from Wayfair, and it had a female's name.
What was the name? You don't remember?
One, I don't remember. Two, I'm not going to say it now because it's kind of like, well, damn, you just... No, I did not, because I bought the chair first.
Watch out for this guy.
I bought the chair first, and it came after, so I didn't know. The chair was literally in shipment once it blew up. Like, it happened around the same time. So I feel like that was so crazy. But I definitely put my office chair up.
And I sat in it. And now it's my chair. Like,
now I'm telling grandma.
Okay. We'll keep it there because it ain't coming.
Yeah. Well, she said it's in her prayer office. So it's a lot.
Yo.
It's a little office. We didn't know. Like, it was literally, I had already bought the chair. I needed it for my work from home job. And I bought the chair, it shipped, and then like it was a whole thing. It was already getting shipped. It definitely had a name. I just thought that's how they worked. But I have not bought from Wayfair since. From then out.
Never bought from there, so I'm Gucci. Like,
and that was my first purchase from Wayfair.
Yeah, so that's crazy.
My first and last.
Well, okay, so what about you? Your stance. Do you think he killed none? Those two or all? I'm
going to say he did two.
Mm-hmm.
Nathaniel Carter and that Jimmy Ray Payne that was in his car. The same night he went missing. Because if I get your car and I go missing, you did it.
And though I ragged on the evidence being planted and it just seemed too easy, I mean, you know, not everybody's a smart killer. Like, so, you know.
If I ride in your car at night and then boom, I'm in Lake Chattahoochee, then you did it.
Yeah.
You did it. Ain't no tweet. They didn't print that.
Add in the fibers and the, you know, DNA and all the blood work and all that stuff. Like, yeah, he did those two. You know what I'm saying? He did those two. Not to mention he was a compulsive liar.
Of course. Like, that's why we told y'all that.
Yeah, compulsive liar. So we did a lot of talking. We played, you know, pros and cons to each side and each theory. But it seems like we both have the same answer. And
he did too, but he didn't do those kids.
He served the time, and
Jamie Brooks, Uncle Tom, and them other pedophiles that was roaming around. They did those kids.
Yeah, they did those kids.
Along with the sex trafficking ring, chopping off. Cause I'm sorry, we not chopping off our body parts. I just don't see our kind doing. We don't do it. Our kind don't do that.
Period.
We do a lot. We do a lot.
We shooters though. We shoot. We stab. We bury.
We shoot you.
And we throw you in the water.
And we might like throw your body back at your mama's house, but we ain't gonna chop your parts.
Yeah, like don't nobody do that.
I ain't touching the dead.
Right. Chopping parts is for the Mexicans and the whites.
Italian.
Sorry, yeah.
He believed that he didn't do it. He said that he didn't do it. He said he was just helping people, trying to get a music career. And he has a spokesperson who honestly probably wasn't even born around the time of this stuff happening. So with that being said,
and well, for the whole speculation of him being gay or whatever, it don't even matter because honestly, if it was ever proven that he was, that just makes it worse for him because it's like, okay, that adds on to a motive, like, obviously going after men only. And if he wasn't, it still don't matter because at the end of the day, that didn't free you and it didn't help or harm the case. It was just pure speculation. But
like when you got Joseph Bell 14, Edward Hope Smith, Joseph Bell was 15, Edward Hope Smith 14, Alfred James Evans 14.
Yeah, young. Like,
and a lot of them, they were, how they went missing. A lot of them, or a few of them, they were sent to like store runs. Their mom told them to go to the store, get a pack of cigarettes, get this, get that, get that. It's like, damn, they don't come back.
Because think about it, like, picturing yourself growing up around that time, you probably want to be in the house before the street lights went off. Maybe, that's where the saying comes from, where, around that time when people are,
somebody
going missing.
Did say that. Yeah. Somebody 15 said, when it get dark, they go in.
They be in the crib, yeah. Like, if it was a serial killer walking around right now, I would definitely not be trying to go to the ice bar and, Mirza. I'm be in the house. Like,
I want to go to Mirza, no.
Y'all got that. I do want to go back. I do, but that's neither here or there right now. But yeah, so like I would be in the house too. But just imagine, like, you have to be on your P's and Q's, like
P's, Q's, ABC, the whole.
Yeah. Just imagine you go to get a pack of cigarettes for your mama, get some milk, and you end up on that milk carton.
But now that I'm thinking about it, low key, the person who was doing it had to be the same person for a lot of the murders because the kids were always found in bodies of water between DeKalb County, Fulton County. They was always being pulled out of a road or some water on the side of the road by water. So it was like that was their calling card.
Yeah.
But now I kind of want to ask them why. What you get from that? Do you think it's too late to reopen those cases 40 plus years later?
What's the statute of limitations?
Yeah, there's no statute of limitations for murder. Like, you can open up the case.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, like, a lot of those kids' parents are probably dead now. A lot of the people who probably do remember something. Well, there are some people that are probably alive now, but they don't remember too much. And they're like, you don't want to reopen up a old wound. You know what I'm saying? Because there was somebody who told a story about what happened to their brother.
I would like to know a little bit more on the forensic side because, like, okay, obviously where the bodies were found and dumped were, the lakes and stuff. But my thing is, like, what about the actual bodies? Like, that thing with, it's like a pattern on the body, like, whatever, it's a certain method. I forgot the term. It was on Dexter, y'all. So, shout out to Dexter. Serial killer show, but I think it's modus operandi, but it's a certain method of the way you kill. Like, so I'm gonna keep using Dexter because his preference of killing was, with a syringe, and then he would, kill you and chop the body parts up or whatever. But like, he would inject people in the same spot in the neck, and it would be precise. Like, precision is always on the neck, like always. Like, and he killed a lot of people. So my thing is, like, there wasn't that type of, marking or pattern on some of these children's bodies. You know what I'm saying? Like, that would be like, okay, this couldn't have possibly been Wayne because he doesn't, none of the bodies connected to him have any markings that will be kind of like his trademark. You know, we're talking about trademarks. But one of the pedophile killers, you know, hey, he did that to this boy, he did that to that girl. It's connecting. So these all have to be victims of so-and-so over here. So, you know, that's why I was like, I would like to know a little bit more on the forensic side, you know, and the examining side of the bodies found.
The only reason why I'm going to say no is because not all of them died the same way. Some of them were strangled to death. They all died different ways. So I wouldn't think it would be no Rick and Morty's pattern, modern MIDI, maxi dress pattern, whatever it's called. Moral of the story: when it's dark, you go in, travel in groups, and keep that thing on you. And you're gonna be all right. And everybody has a different opinion, so just ask somebody from who's around the area, see how they feel. Everybody has a different story.
Or maybe you've been following this story for quite some time and you know something we didn't mention. We would love to hear either way it goes. So be sure to drop it in a comment, you know, send us a DM. Let us know and we can talk about it. I'm your host, Sly.
I'm Cardi the Dawn.
And this has been The Melting Pot.
Don't forget to
like, comment, and subscribe. And also be sure to follow us on all social media platforms. You can follow us on Twitter at The Melting Pot 16. You can follow us on Instagram at The Real Melting Pot. That's THEE, Real Melting Pot. You can follow us on Facebook at The Melting Pot Podcast. All right.
And we'll see you next week.